So, one long held question by people in this streaming era is, will television die? And I think the answer is a little bit more complicated than simply will it die. First of all, TV as a medium will possibly never die. There will always be shows, there will always be a TV show format. That being said, cable and satellite as infrastructure may evolve or disappear, but there will always be some form of TV. And I think the question a lot of people are asking is streaming a better replacement for cable and satellite? And that's been a question that's been asked honestly since Netflix. And the answer to that is possibly, possibly not. It all depends on what you're willing to pay and what you want. Now, I personally am of the belief that the way streaming is set up right now, it is not a substitute for cable. I still think you get more with cable. You just have less freedom in terms of what you want and when you want it. You're just beholden to a schedule, which plenty of people are fine with that. A lot of people, if they know when something is on, they still know how to plan their schedule around it. But a lot of my generation and younger are very impatient, and we want everything, just boom, boom, on demand. So if you look at Disney Plus here, you've got three basic tiers of content that is all inclusive. You've got plans for just Disney Plus itself, but you've also got plans for Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN, which is their total package. That's all the stuff that they own under one banner. That's getting it all for a premium. And their best plan for all of it is the Trio Premium. No ads on Disney Plus and Hulu, but you get ads with ESPN Plus. Now, this is a contentious issue, is ads. With TV, ads are a given. People expect that. That's what subsidizes it, even though people still have to pay their cable company for the service and the rental fee for the equipment and all of that stuff. But with streaming, people are trying to reduce costs and not have their content be interrupted. So Disney Plus has an all-inclusive package of Disney. They split their content between Disney and Hulu for TV and movies. And then for sports, it's all ESPN. So they've got a pretty robust package. It comes down to $20 a month. So you do the math, $20, 12 months. I'm not going to do the math because my math is absolutely terrible. I can't rattle that off the top of my head. So we move over to HBO Max. So let's say you want the top tier of Disney, but you also want the top tier of HBO Max. The top tier of HBO Max ad-free is $150 a year. If you want it with ads, you're just paying $50 less. I don't know why you would want it with ads. I really don't. But ad-free is $150 a year. All right, so then you've got whatever you're paying a premium a year for Disney on a monthly fee. Disney doesn't have any yearly fees, weirdly enough, but it doesn't surprise me. It's Disney. They're terrible. But HBO is a little bit more generous in terms of the payment. You can make a yearly payment whenever you start the service, and then that time this next year will be when you renew. Then you move over to Peacock, which used to be free, and this actually surprised me that they now have premium options. So you've got $5 a month, which basically the only difference is between the premium $5 a month and the premium plus with $10 a month. I don't like that name, premium plus. It's just weird. You get your local NBC affiliate live 24/7, which admittedly is pretty good. But it's all NBC Universal Comcast stuff. And I don't know if they have any deals with Comcast where if you have cable, you get Peacock for free. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know. But okay, so let's say you have all free of that. So you've got $20 a month, $10 a month, and $150 a year. So the costs are going up. You're paying hundreds more. Now you go over to Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus has, and I have to reload, this is a very strange page. It doesn't always load right. But for their annual fees, if it'll load here, come on, any day of the year would be nice. Any day of the year. Any day. I can't see anything. I believe they start at $9.99 a month. I know that much. I believe it's $9.99 a month. Come on. Oh, you're making this video difficult, Paramount. There it is. Okay. So, their premium plan is another $150. So you got $150 at HBO. You've got whatever it comes out to with Disney at the end of the year after paying $20 a month for 12 months. And then you've got $10 a month with Peacock. That's 4 services, equivalent to an all-inclusive cable package. You're paying hundreds of dollars a year. Now, some of those are monthly installments, some of those are yearly installments, but even so, you're still spending hundreds of dollars if you want all of them because they are all offering their services. Ideally, they want you exclusively with them and not with the others, but they should know after years of cable, people like having all of it. They like seeing different options and what different companies come up with. So they're not really working together, they're all sort of competing now. They're more competitive than they've probably ever been outside of movies. So then you go on and you add stuff like Amazon Plus or Amazon Prime, excuse me. And then I think Discovery Plus is also still separate. Let me just check and see. Discovery Plus. Okay. I think I've got my desktop audio off, so if it starts. Okay, so you got $4.99 a month for Discovery Plus. And I don't believe they're bundling that into ESPN or to HBO Max because it's the same company now. But that's $4.99 a month, so it's $5. So you've got 150, 10, 20, and 5. So you have to add all of that up, and you'll get your grand total. Which, again, I won't do because my math is horrible, and I don't want to waste any more of your time on that. I want to talk about these things more than I want to be doing math about them. So we'll go back to Disney just for some background view because admittedly, their background is the least busy, and it's kind of nice. For some people, this is worth it. For some people, they watch enough content to where all of these services are worth it. For most people, this is going to be, they're going to be selecting, they're going to be picking and choosing based on their needs. Do they have kids? What do the kids like? If you get Paramount Plus, you get all Nickelodeon content. If you do HBO Max, you get some Cartoon Network stuff, although HBO is being very picky about their animation lately. They've been removing content. I'm not entirely sure why. Disney has been removing a lot of their content based on what's popular and what's not. And a lot of the problems you run into is if you like something, it's not guaranteed to stay on the service, even if they've got the license to it. So you're out of luck if there's something that they like that isn't available. So it is what it is. And then Peacock, I don't know how they've done since. I could have sworn that Peacock in its inception was free, and that was the draw to it. But I will say this. If you are looking for a TV alternative and you're not really into new stuff, there are actually two other options, potentially more, that are popping up. There is Pluto TV. Pluto TV is owned by Paramount. And what they've essentially done, I believe this is the first of its type of services. There's also Tubi TV, which is owned by Fox. It does largely the same thing, although they've got a little bit of a different structure. But what they do, and there's also Roku TV as well. There's a couple of them popping up because it is a popular model, and more people are starting to talk about it, and I'm seeing more ads for it. But what these services do is it's a free ad-supported video streaming service. So it's structured like a TV network. They've got content grouped within genres and network genres. You get commercial breaks that are similar to TV. And you get a guide that's similar to TV, and you also get on-demand content. So you get stuff in a structure that's like cable, where you watch a show, and then the next episode comes on, and then another show comes on with its own episode, and so on and so forth. It's more of a programming schedule. And then you've got your on-demand stuff. Now, some of the stuff on there, some of the shows on there are not on-demand, and some of the movies aren't on demand. You just have to watch them while they're on their sort of network run, which might be a little inconvenience for some people. But if you're already used to TV, it's really not that much different. And the major draw is some of the shows that CBS has the rights to, or rather Paramount has the rights to. I can never keep track of what the company's called. Now it used to be CBS Viacom, then it was Viacom, and then it was Viacom CBS and Viacom Paramount. Now it's just Paramount. It's Paramount Global. Regardless, the advantage is instead of having their own TV channels like CBS, CBS2, CBS3, whatever, it is all based on genre or specific shows. Like they have a network that is all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shows. All of the Ninja Turtles shows from the original cartoon to now are shown at different intervals on its own network on Pluto TV with ads. And that is very cool. They just recently added I Love Lucy. I Love Lucy is available on this service. Mystery Science Theater 3000 is also on this service. It's actually both on this and Tubi TV, so that's pretty cool. On the Tubi TV side, they have an NHRA channel that shows older races, some dating all the way back to the 70s, which I think is really cool. But what's cool about this is that you're not paying anything. It's all ad supported. And the ads, usually it's about 3 or 4 ads between, like a regular ad break. It feels more like a regular ad break for a show. So if you're already used to that, it's no big deal. Some other people might find it troubling, but I mean, instead of paying for Paramount Plus, you can just get this stuff, and I think it works out incredibly well. But that's another option. Then the last option, if you still want to pay for stuff, are services like Sling TV. Sling TV is streaming television. It's cable and satellite without the cable or satellite. It's just regular networks on TV for comparable prices to things like cable or satellite. They're not bad. As far as I can tell, they're not bad. I believe my sister had it for a little while, but then they jacked up the prices, and from what I heard, they had some rights issues, so they ended up removing content. But it is a solid model. And I just went on their website just a few minutes ago after I did the first take of this video, which had no audio for some reason. That was unfortunate, because I thought that was a good take. And it turns out they have a free version of their service. I don't really know what that's like. I might actually try and see what that's about. But they have Sling TV, they have Philo TV, and they have Fubo TV. I think those are the 3 that are available right now. But they're starting to pop up. They're all competitive, and it looks like they've got competitive pricing. You can see what channels they have on their tiers. TV's not going anywhere. The old TV format you might think is outdated, but there are people who still really love it, so it's not going anywhere. The numbers are still there. I think eventually what will happen is people will discover these services and start switching to them as opposed to cable, and they'll only rely on their cable companies to just be internet companies. I think that's what's going to happen, or their satellite companies. So, no, TV's not going to go the way of the radio, which, by the way, I can't stand that saying. People say, oh, TV killed the radio star, which is a song by, I forget who, but it's a song. Or TV's going the way of theater. And I'm like, both are still around. In fact, radio has made the biggest comeback I think I've ever seen a piece of media make. Radio used to be what TV was for people with families. They'd gather around the radio, listen to a radio drama. Radio dramas are coming back. Radio talk shows have arguably never gone off the air. All sorts of things. Radio interviews, and obviously music. It's all making a huge comeback. But the difference is now you've got traditional radio, you've got internet radio, and you've got satellite radio. You've got 3 forms of radio. So you can basically listen to radio anywhere you can get a signal of some sort. So radio is still around, and it's thriving now more than it has in years. It's made a huge comeback. A huge comeback. And then you have theater. Theater never really went away. Yeah, its popularity has gone up and down, but there's still plenty of people who do theater. I mean, kids start theater in school, for goodness sakes. And then it's still a vehicle to get into Hollywood in many ways. So theater is not going anywhere. And neither is radio, and neither is television. TV, as we know it, is not going away. It's evolving the same way theater and radio have evolved. It still exists. Technology has made these things available to newer generations, and newer generations still like this stuff. Not everybody likes everything universally, but stuff is still largely available. So that should answer the question of if TV will die. I don't believe so. Maybe somebody has countervailing evidence to disprove things that I've said here, and maybe somebody has a clearer case for why they think traditional cable or satellite as an infrastructure might die, and I think fair enough, that might happen. But TV as it exists with the networks will not disappear. There's too much involved. There's too much ad money. It's not something that's just going to disappear just because you and I like the convenience of something like streaming. And by the way, aside from Pluto TV and Tubi TV, I don't use any streaming services. I don't use any of these paid streaming services because it is way too much money. It is way too much money. And then they want ads on top of it. I'm sorry, but if I'm going to pay and have ads, on something where I should have more freedom, I'd rather just go back to TV. The freedom doesn't matter at that point because I'm still being inundated with more ads than actual programming. You know, the whole idea of streaming was to break away from ads. You were paying so you didn't have to, they didn't have to rely on ad revenue. But what happened was, to my understanding, was the networks saw what was going on because it was Netflix. Netflix was the hub where all these shows were going. They wanted a piece of that pie. They wanted the revenue that was coming in. They wanted more of it. So they decided to do their own streaming services and control the method of distribution themselves. So that's what they decided to do, and I think especially Disney is regretting it because it's a lot of money to run this whole infrastructure. That's my dog again. She barked in the last one too. So anyways, that's my answer to the question, will TV die? Let me know what you think. What do you do for television? Do you do streaming? Do you do cable? Do you do satellite? What do you do? Thank you for very, very much for watching, folks. This has been Super Koopa. I will see you guys next time. God bless. Have a good one. Peace.